even if it wasn't at the instigation of US aid, I mean, you did want
there's
Jonathan
nothing about
you wanted Jonathan to leave office, didn't you?
There is nothing that connects USA.
No, I know. I'm saying even if it wasn't at their instigation, you clearly wanted Jonathan out of office, given the things you've just said. I mean, you didn't.
Myself personally, or the movement?
Well, you and
absolutely, absolutely. The movement had nothing to do with Jonathan.
Right.
The movement was apolitical, and it maintained that. And one of the things was that at the Unity Fountain where we met, no talk of politics was allowed. And this is the thing: there were people from different political parties. They were all parts of the movement. There was never a time we had political talk. Even I remember Dr. Obi Ezekwesili would always insist. You know, sometimes when members are angry and they're referring to the president with just his name, you know, Goodluck or Ebele or G, she would say, no, you must add the president because he happens to be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But AISHA YESUFU, yes, I wanted Jonathan to be removed because he was clueless, he was incompetent, he had failed, there was so much corruption. Nigeria was borrowing money to pay salaries. Nigeria was borrowing money to service debt. We are going through so much. There was such corruption. We had monies that were meant to buy arms, were being used, were being stolen, and all of that. So AISHA YESUFU, I wanted Goodluck Ebele Jonathan to be removed, and I worked towards it. And I do not owe anybody an apology for having the right to use my own, how's that English, inalienable right to vote out an incompetent president. That some people, Nigerians who have turned themselves to oxygen wasting vessels, who think that they are slaves and they are not citizens, they are calling on me to apologize for voting out an incompetent president just because the people that came after him failed. Well, and this is the thing. Let me just round up on this, Charles. Nigerians, I see now when people are talking, they are comparing Jonathan to Buhari, who is an abysmal failure, and to Tinubu, who has failed woefully. How do you do that? Are they okay? So we should look at the moment somebody fails more, then the other one now becomes better. No, why don't they compare the time that Jonathan was there with the time that Yar'Adua was there and with the time that Obasanjo was there? That's how you do comparison. People sit down and say that, oh, in hindsight. In hindsight, do you know what I expected from the people? Was that Nigerians will say enough is enough and never again. And that anybody who does anyone, we will vote you out. But we had people who sat down and refused to do what they're supposed to do and said that it's other people they want to help them vote out. And for every one of them, I say to you, if you said I voted out Jonathan, why didn't you keep him in? After all, was he not the incumbent? And they were telling us that it would take 60 years without anything. You know what? I just the pain we went through. And let me tell you something. In January, I can't remember the specific day now. In January, 2,000 people were killed in Baga. President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan at that time did not say anything. A few days after, Charlie Hebdo, I can't remember how many, was it 8 or something like that? Some people were killed.
In Paris, France.
In France, Charlie Hebdo attack.
Guess
what? Goodluck Ebele Jonathan dared, without being afraid of Nigerians, he sent them a message, a condolence message. And that was the time that Malema of South Africa, Julius Malema called him an irresponsible leader. If Nigerians want to sit down and turn themselves to slaves and forget where they're coming from because it has worsened, there are some people who say, oh, Jonathan should have been kept. He's the best thing after Jollof Rice because they could buy tickets for 10,000 naira from Abuja to Lagos. For those people, the message I have is that those who have died, they don't know that ticket is now 300,000. And when they could buy the ticket for 10,000 naira, there were others who couldn't afford it. There were people who were running from insurgency in the Northeast. And there was a woman who had a miscarriage and she didn't know she had a miscarriage. That was how frightened people were. We had our military, they were running away. Our own military running away from a ragtag army entering Cameroon. What did they call it then? They said it was tactical withdrawal. What did we not see? And today they dare to tell us all sorts of things. Whoever it is, you said whatever, let them go and fight whoever is funding what. The Bring Back Our Girls movement is a movement that is self-funded, and no matter what they try to do, they will not take away the pain that we went through to ensure that Chibok girls are brought back. Well, we have some who are back anyway.
You mentioned the fact. Now, as you know, there are lots of allegations flying around. You've responded to them on your very popular YouTube channel. But lots of allegations flying around about the NGO that you co-convened, the Bring Back Our Girls campaign, allegations that it was sponsored from abroad in an attempt to destabilize the government of President Goodluck Jonathan and ultimately unseat him. What's your reaction to that?
So my first reaction is the fact that the Bring Back Our Girls movement is not an NGO. Neither is it a civil society organization. It's a movement of people who got tired and who were angry that girls that had gone to school were taken away. 276 Chibok girls were abducted. And you know, in all of the things that have been happening recently, a lot more people are coming to the conclusion that indeed there was abduction, because it took us years. People were saying there was no abduction. So that's one on that one side. So it's a movement. It's not an NGO. And BBOG, the Bring Back Our Girls movement, has never ever received anything from anyone. We, the members, decided that we were going to self-fund it. We'll put our empathy on the line, we'll put our humanity in. Whatever we need, we will use our own money to do it. What
but there
our
have been
needs?
Contributions made to
By members. No,
right.
Not if you're not a member, nobody collected anything from you. And AISHA YESUFU, I'll be able to say, because I was a sit-out coordinator for quite a number of time before I became the strategic team of the strategic team lead of Bring Back Our Girls movement. So I led the movement for some years. I think from around, was it 2015 to like 2018, 19? I'm not sure. And the Bring Back Our Girls movement started on April 30th, 2014, when we marched on the street. And I think it was 18th of March or 19th, I'm not very sure now, of in 2020, that the physical march stopped. We stopped the sit-out. And why was that? Because there was a lockdown by the federal government due to the COVID-19. And all of this, and all this allegation of us being paid, being sponsored, it's been going on for 11 years. People have said they will check whatever it is that they need to check. We don't have bank accounts. We were not registered. We don't have anything. So in what way were we doing business with you? Said, as in what? As in we're going to collect what? Is it the t-shirt we couldn't buy for ourselves? Or is it the tear gas that the government were sending to us? Or was it the talks that Jonathan government sent to come and beat us at the Unity Fountain, that you said we're going to use their word to do what for us? But I think what is happening is the fact that we have a lot of Nigerians who are bereft of empathy, bereft of humanity, who watched girls that went to school being taken away and they did nothing. And for 11 years, they have looked for ways to concoct allegations and say that, oh, BBOG were either funded or whatever, to say that's the reason why they didn't do it. No. The thing is that we all are victims waiting to happen. And the fact that Nigeria refused to come together and put politics aside and focus on the lives of girls that were taken away. They were focused on an incompetent president as of that time, Goodluck Jonathan. They've turned him to a feeding bottle baby that cannot talk, that, oh, he doesn't have any this. Was it you say that told Goodluck Jonathan that for 19 days he shouldn't talk about Chibok girls that were abducted under him? And I think another thing that a lot of people have forgotten is the fact that before the abduction of Chibok girls, Buniyadi boys had been slaughtered in their school. Goodluck Jonathan, and I'm calling him out. He never said a word. How heartless, how callous can you be? Children the terrorists took them there and slit their neck in front of other students. There was a girl that we knew. Her brother was slaughtered in front of her. Goodluck Jonathan never said a word. His administration spokesperson, they didn't say a word until 2015, when the Bring Back Our Girls movement did an anniversary of that, and that was a few weeks to election. And people sit down. We are focused on the president who didn't protect girls that had gone to school. And one other thing that Nigerians keep forgetting is the fact that at the time that Chibok girls abduction happened, there was a state of emergency in Borno State. Meaning the federal government, the military were more in charge than the governor. Because there were even people who were saying, well, why did they even leave the governor to still be in charge since a state of emergency had been imposed? Because I see a lot of people who say to us, why were you making demands in Abuja? Why didn't you go to Borno? And the first thing I say to such people, what were you doing? Why didn't they go to Borno? Because there's nobody that is meant to come out to protest. Every one of us were supposed to have protested. The federal government, it is when we demand, and this is what we always say, when we are making demands for Chibok girls and we're still doing for the rest that are still not back home, we're not doing them a favor. And it's not a privilege. It's their right, as enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for them to have been brought back home. Nigeria failed them by allowing them to be abducted. And the next best thing was to have brought them back immediately, which they didn't do. And we've been on the street and we're still making demands. And I see people who come out, people who are devoid of empathy, like I said earlier. We make accusation that it was political. It was done to remove Jonathan. Really? People died. Jonathan was busy doing his shenanigans. PDP said for 60 years, nobody was going to remove them. They left children to die.